All right. Shalom, shalom, everybody. It is your brew. That is me, Ban Shemayim, back again with another one. Thank y'all for tuning in. That means the water. I want to start this video off by saying Kaula Ahaya by Shem Yeshaya, which is all praises to the Most High in the name of His Son. Today's video is about Social Security. I know that's going to throw y'all off a little bit, but we're going to watch how Ukrainians are receiving Social Security, and then we're going to go into a bigger discussion. So without further ado, this won't be a long video. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to go to the Facebook first. Hit on this one.
For Ukrainian immigrants to get SSI checks. So if you are a Ukrainian refugee in America, you can apply for SSI. Help me understand that, because we have the highest black homelessness population since the 1960s. You got black people living on the street because they can't find a job and can't get any subsidy, but you're going to bring immigrants. Didn't build this country, don't pay taxes, don't have a job, never paid into Social Security, but they're going to get Social Security benefits. You're taking from black people and giving to immigrants. If that is not the greatest example of white privilege in this decade, I don't know what is. That's not a civilization. To neglect those who built the country and give their resources to white people from another land is one of the greatest examples of disproportionality, bias, racism, and discrimination I've ever seen. And at the same time, you're sending the Haitians back. Haitians got to get on a boat and go home, but the Ukrainians can come get free housing, free medical, free insurance, and an SSI check. For Ukrainian immigrants to get SSI checks.
Now we're gonna go back into that, but we're gonna hit on a couple things first to proof check to make sure he not just lying, right? Let's get it right here. Oh wait. That's not it. It is this it? Here we go. Right here. Yes. Ukrainians living in the U.S. may qualify for Social Security benefits. Thousands of Ukrainians have found temporary shelter in the United States. And check this out. Atlanta, the war in Ukraine is now a year old, and some Americans want to know if the United States is providing benefits like Social Security to thousands of Ukrainians who are now residing here. President Joe Biden is committed to welcoming 100,000 Ukrainians 100,000, y'all, who fled their war-torn nation to find temporary home in the United States. There are viral videos claiming that President Biden had made it legal for Ukrainian immigrants to get SSI checks. Okay, answer. Yes, some Ukrainians who have arrived in the United States since Russia's invasion of their country may apply and could qualify for benefits like supplemental Social Security for a limited amount of time. What we found. According to NUC, there are three ways Ukrainians can legally seek refuge here. One is through the Uniting for Ukraine program. Those who qualify can stay in the U.S. for up to 2 years as humanitarian parolees and receive some benefits. They're eligible for food stamps. They're eligible for supplemental security, SSI. They're eligible for insurance, Medicare, said CUP. The Social Security Administration also says that certain Ukrainians in the U.S. may be eligible for SSI benefits. The Office of Refugee Resettlement confirms humanitarian parolees may also be eligible for assistance through existing programs like temporary assistance for needy families, health care through Medicaid, and food through the SNAP program. They're not lifetime on taxpayer dole, says Kirk. This is basically helping refugees who couldn't help themselves. They're making sure their kids don't starve to death. So we can verify it's true. Some Ukrainians who have arrived in the U.S. since Russia's invasion of their country may apply and could qualify for benefits like supplemental Social Security for a limited amount of time. So this is a fact to show that what he said, what Brother Umar said is true. I'm going to give you my opinion on this at the end. Now, let's go into this because he also brought up the Haitians and what happened to the Haitians, right? U.S. authorities accelerate removal of Haitians at the border with Mexico. This happened in September 20th of 2021. This is 2 years ago, right? It says U.S. authorities moved some 2,000 people to other immigration processing stations on Friday from the Texas border town that has been overwhelmed by influx of Haitian and other migrants. The Department of Homeland Security said on Saturday such transfers will continue in order to ensure that irregular migrants are swiftly taken into custody, processed, and removed from the United States, consistent with our laws and policies, DHS said in a statement. Okay. So, pretty much to make a long story short, I'm going to break this down so I don't have to read all of this. They went into Texas and moved out Haitians. They sent them to different places. Watch. It says DHS added it was working with nations where the migrants began their journeys. For many of the Haitians, countries such as Brazil and Chile to accept returned migrants. Officials on both sides of the border said most of the migrants were Haitians. Now, one of the things I wanted to hit up on this, y'all, is that the destruction that's going on in Haiti, we're in Haiti right now, warring with Haiti. That's something that's not on the news very often or anything. It's not on mainstream news, but currently, matter of fact, what's that saying? Let's not talk about it. Let's be about it. Right? U.S. invades Haiti. Do, 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 do. All right. U.S. wants UN approval for Kenyan-led Haiti force next week. News about U.S. invading Haiti. This is from 13 days ago. They're trying to get permission from the United Nations to go into Haiti. As we speak. But yet, 2 years ago when this uprising started, right? Because that's what happened as we read. Navigate Crisis in Haiti, a bloody history, right? Where is it at? All right, we're not gonna go into that. Anyways, I just wanted to go. Haiti is unstable right now, and we created the instability in Haiti. That's kind of what I wanted to go over. Not only did we create the instability in Haiti, we removed the Haitians when they came to our border 2 years ago almost immediately. I think like I was watching on the news, they're literally under a bridge for like 2 or 3 weeks, and they got them up out of our country and stop that migrant crisis. So it's kind of crazy that we're having another migrant crisis, but the same length they went to expel the Haitians aren't being used. Another thing that we went over is Social Security. This is about Social Security. I am disabled. It's hard for me to say that because I don't want to be disabled. It's not something I plan to do. You know, I'm limited to how long I can do these videos. I'm limited to what I can do in general because of my disability. I've worked my entire life. I started working when I was 12 years old doing side. I worked for a store called Music for You on 16 and Grospec when I turned 13. These are both under the table jobs. I got my first legit job at 14 from Farmer Jack's. I worked everywhere from Farmer Jack's to Taco Bell to factories to plants, KFC, just healthcare. I mean, I've worked all over the place. You understand? Like I have more than 20 years. I'm only 38 and I have more than 20 years of work history already in my life. You understand? So I've paid into Social Security my entire life. I was denied my first time going for it. They didn't have a diagnosis. I was diagnosed. I did a video about this. I was diagnosed with spinal dural arteriovenous fistula. It was making me go paralyzed. When I first got the disease or the symptoms of the disease first started showing, it took them 3 years to get a diagnosis. Most people within 3 years of a diagnosis is paralyzed. All praises to the Most High God, I'm not. Right? So it took 3 years to get a diagnosis. During that 3 years of trying to get a diagnosis, 2 of those years I spent fighting for Social Security. I got denied 3 times. Why? Because First off, I during this time, let me break down a little bit. During this time, I went and started my business, Bronze Royalty. Since I've been injured, I've started a business, Bronze Royalty, right? I've got my YouTube page going. I went and got my healthcare license and my life insurance license. I've been doing everything possible to continue working and to not have to use these benefits. And another issue that I want to briefly bring up really quick is this. Why is it that these at-home jobs don't want to hire you if you're disabled? When I tell people I can't sit in a chair like I'm sitting in now for 8 hours to do the work, but I tell them I got a super computer set up. I could do it from my TV, laying in my bed, and if I'm needed for meetings, I could probably sit in my chair for an hour at a time. But I can't sit in my chair for 8 hours or 4 hours at a time before I get a break. I need more breaks than that. But I have the camera, as you guys see. I could lay in my bed, it's right behind me, and do everything. My computer is hooked up to my television, so I could do everything from my television. Yet no jobs will hire me. So people always say, well, you're disabled, why don't you just get a job? That was my first instinct. I didn't even want Social Security. My long-term life insurance forced me to apply for Social Security. The whole time I'm thinking I'm about to end up getting my health better and go back to work. So I did these other things to supplicate my income, because I was thinking, well, if I get life insurance, I should be able to just sit at home and call people on the phone, and I should be able to make some income doing that. Because some people become millionaires selling life insurance and health insurance. I figured I could at least do that. Now I brought that up because while getting my life insurance and health insurance license, there was a test on a question that says, in order to receive Social Security disability, you do not need a doctor to prove an injury. Literally, these are the things you need. You need to have made enough points, meaning you worked enough to have your points filled up in the work meter, right? You need to, the second thing was, okay, you need to fill up all your points, have worked enough points in the work meter. The other thing was you need to have been injured for at least a year and not been able to work for at least a year, and not plan on being able to work in the next year, not knowing if you would be able to work in the next year going forward. Those are the three things you need to get approved for Social Security, according to our own laws, right? So I get denied pretty much because I was young and young black men, and they thought, and I'm intelligent, so they thought there's other ways that this guy can make money. That's pretty much what my lawyer told me too after the fact. So now we get down to this situation. I'm back reapplying again. I just got my first denial. I'm going through reconsideration right now. I read on the internet somehow. Let me look this up. Social Security reconsideration. I'm not even gonna look it up. I'm gonna just tell you. Social Security reconsideration. You have a 10% chance of getting approved when you go through reconsideration. Your appeal on Social Security. So how can you tell me, a disabled person that would love to work, is not given the opportunity to work from my home, which I would assume that home jobs would be meant for disabled people, for people who could not go out and do the regular work, right? So it boggles me that they don't want to hire me. Literally, I've heard from insurance companies that do the phone thing. I've literally heard from them, well, we need you to be able to sit in the chair for 8 hours and be on camera. Currently, with your disability, you can't do that. So we'll always be welcome to hear back from you once you improve a little bit, because we know it's only been a year since your surgery. So they try to put it nicely, but pretty much they're saying we can't hire you with your disability. So if I can't get a job with my disability because I'm stuck at home, jobs that I'm applying for that I don't even know if I can work, because you don't know what you can do until you try it. I know I can't stand up for long or walk too long, and I know I can't sit in the chair for too long. I learned that I couldn't use the little rolling carts at Walmart, because when I reach my left hand out, my whole body started acting crazy when it's reached out for an extended period of time. So these things you kind of figure out as you go through life. So this is my thing. So a person like me who worked, contributed, did all of this to the system, it falls exactly on what Umar said. How do these people come over here And listen, I know they're going through war torn. This is my thing. If they stop supporting the Ukraine war, which we know they're not, this is World War III. But if they stop giving money to the Ukrainian war, or they would never have given the money to the Ukrainian war effort, over $100 billion right now, right? If they had never given that money to the Ukrainian war effort, that money could have been used to supplement the people, the refugees over here, and therefore they didn't have to pull out of the Social Security bank. Because it is boggling that you give refugees out of Social Security, which we paid for, and then for us who need it, you make it hard. You make it hard to get it. I don't plan on using Social Security disability forever. I just need it for right now to help pay my bills, to help you. It takes money to make money. If I wanted to go and try to get more licenses or take more classes or do anything like that in order to better educate myself so I could get a job sitting in my house that would hire me in my disabled position, I need money to go to school or to take some classes. All of that requires money. So I don't plan on using it forever. But they could. It is a shame that they would give it to people who are not Americans. I understand what they're going through. There's a way that we could try to help them, but then bypass us Americans. So without further ado, I'm going to play this one more time, and then I'm going to wrap it up and end the video.
For
Let's get it.
Ukrainian immigrants to get SSI checks. So if you are a Ukrainian refugee in America, you can apply for SSI. Help me understand that, because we have the highest black homelessness population since the 1960s. You got black people living on the street because they can't find a job and can't get any subsidy, but you're going to bring immigrants. Didn't build this country, don't pay taxes, don't have a job, never paid into Social Security, but they're going to get Social Security benefits. You're taking from black people and giving to immigrants. If that is not the greatest example of white privilege in this decade, I don't know what is. That's not a civilization. To neglect those who built the country and give their resources to white people from another land is one of the greatest examples of disproportionality, bias, racism, and discrimination I've ever seen. And at the same time, you're sending the Haitians back. Haitians got to get on a boat and go home, but the Ukrainians can come get free housing, free medical, free insurance, and an SSI check. For Ukrainian.
And like I said, I just want to end it with this. I don't even have health insurance. I have the Texas free health insurance, which is not real health insurance. I can't go, like Social Security keep mentioning that I don't have an extensive hospital record. You can't go to the hospital every 2 weeks like you can with your regular doctor when you want free health care. Right? So for a person, the long-term disability ran out, lost their health insurance, been working. I was working 3 jobs at the time I was injured. And when people hear this, because some people might think, oh, this guy be bragging. He said he went and got this license, he went and got that. No, that just shows my determination. That shows my unwilling determination not to quit or give up on myself because I believe God loves me. You understand? And this is showing by fact that even when you try, that don't mean everything is going to go your way. That don't give an excuse not to try, but I have tried. I literally played a phone game all day long to make the little income I make, because I don't really make no income from YouTube. So I am trying. I'm putting forth the effort. So I don't get how people think you're bragging or boasting when you're talking about your accomplishments. Nobody can accomplish nothing without God, first off. Nobody can accomplish anything without God. So when a person is talking about their accomplishments, they're not just bragging to them. So they're saying what they were able to do. It should be a sign of people to know that if they could overcome it, if they could do it, then I could do it. I just need to put in the effort. I need to apply myself more. So I've applied myself in this situation, and it has borne no fruit. Thank the Most High God that with Mateo, we working on some other things, and I'm still fighting for my Social Security. So thank the Most High God for that. But I just brought this out to prove that Dr. Umar, that was Dr. Umar who made the video, what he said was actually absolutely true. 2 years ago, they kicked the Haitians out of America. Now they're allowing migrants to come in free range, all in New York, all everywhere, Chicago, everywhere, right? And then currently, they're allowing Ukrainians to receive SSI, but denying brothers and sisters in I'm sure it's other people who aren't brothers and sisters denying Americans. Let's say that denying Americans health insurance. I mean, Social Security, who worked and put into it without the bias. That's what's so crazy. It all falls down to a person and a person's decision about how they feel. How they feel. How does how they feel contribute to what you're going through? I've seen so many people with Social Security on Social Security disability walking around the whole city, catching a bus. I used to take care of a guy who pretty much was on foot going everywhere through the whole city when I was a home health insurance person. So one of my clients, he was all around the city, never had his cane or nothing, on foot, didn't even have a limp, nothing, just walking around, doing it. I would tell myself, man, if I was him, I'd be out there grinding. But yeah, he got Social Security. So my question is, why is it so hard for us to get something that, according to the rules to get, is actually easy? That you allow foreigners to come over here and receive easy. Why do you make it such a process for us who worked hard? It's almost like they look at me and like, well, yeah, he put over 20 years in. We could probably get another 20, 30, 40 more. We get some more years out of this guy. Just give him 5 to 10 years and he'll climb himself up from the bootstraps. He'll climb himself up from his bootstraps. 5 to 10 years, I cannot have a place. It's a blessing to the Most High God. Ahayabai Shimyashai. It's a blessing to him in his son that I've kept my place. It's a blessing I've met the people I've met, been able to stay focused, been able to come up with plans and ideas, even though I haven't been able to supplicate my income or bring in income that I need to survive. It's a blessing that I came up with ideas and that God has given me ideas in order to push our people along forward. And it's a blessing I met team members who are willing to work hard to push our people forward and push what we're trying to do forward, even with me lacking income. So that's always lets me know God has always got my back. He always fighting for me, no matter how hard the devil is coming against me. But with that being said, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think it's messed up? Because as a person who's fighting for Social Security, I think it's messed up. There's another program. There's something else they could have gave them, right? That those hundreds of thousands of people who may be receiving Social Security from Ukraine could have received another income, and that could have been 100,000 Americans who've been fighting for years that might be homeless or Lord knows what they're going through, that have worked and paid into the system and did what was supposed to be done according to them. I did everything I was supposed to do. I was at one job for 12 years, had my 401k saved up, worked 3 jobs at one time. I was doing everything they tell us to do. When I got injured, I blew my 401k in the first year just trying to stay afloat. Then short-term disability was in and out. They pay you sometimes they don't want to pay you based off of DACA records. Long-term disability came in, I only got paid for a year. I paid for all of that stuff for 12 years, 13 years, for it all just to fade away and dissipate like that. So this is how we're treated in this system that's supposedly created for us, right? Well, we know it's not for Judah or Yasharallah, but they say it's for all people, right? Equally. If that's the truth, then why would you bring foreigners in and give them the things that we need to survive? It don't make sense. You give it to us. You give me the aid. See, the biggest problem with us in the urban neighborhoods, you never tend to get a hand. All a person needs is a hand. Be brothers with great ideas. It be brothers with business plans, but it's harder to get a loan. It's harder to get your credit score up. It's not like our parents start us off with a 700 credit score and they've been working on our credit since we was 14. They gave us a credit card. No, most of us, when I started off, I had like a 400 credit score. Maybe even less. I don't remember. It was years ago. I remember looking at my credit score like, dang, what is this? And then I had to work myself up to 670. And then they changed the credit score. Like 670 used to be great credit. Now it's just fair or good credit. Now in order to, I gotta get to 750 in order to have great credit. So every time I keep climbing this list that y'all are trying to get me to climb, to reach these barriers y'all want me to reach, to fight against all the problems of the neighborhood environment and everything else that we culturally have to deal with, you add more things for us to fight. And then for people not from the country, you ease their burden. You ease people with blind, because this is what they said. This is not normal people getting bombed and destroyed in the war. This is what they said when Russia started bombing Ukraine. These are European children with blonde hair, European people with blonde hair and blue eyes being killed from this war. They said that on the news. And then they brought those people over here and gave them income that people like myself could use. Now, I'm not a person who lacks compassion and empathy. I feel for them even though I believe it's our country's fault. So by forcing them into that war with Russia, we deserve to help them in something, in some way. But we can't help them by taking away from our own people. And that's what I'm against. On that note, I just want to say Thawada, which means thank you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Kaulal Haya by Shem Yeshai, which is all praises to the Most High in the name of His Son. And I just wanted to say thank y'all for tuning in, man. If y'all liked the video, or if you didn't like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe. If you got any situations like this, or know anybody who's been fighting this system and had a hard time, or any advice for me fighting for Social Security, because I reached out to my local congressman. I felt like I had a great doctor's visit to still get denied. If y'all got any advice for me, man, let me know in the comments. I'll be looking forward to hearing it. On that note, I just want to say Shalom, which is a peaceful greeting since we on our way out, and Barakatah, which is bless you. Bless everybody tuning in. And on that note, peace.